All right. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you all for the Get More Done. Get More Done. I'm so excited for this topic. I haven't done this specific topic before, even though, I have talked about like doing things with ease and collapsing time and aligning with your highest timeline and all that kind of thing. But I'm actually like super excited to do this particular workshop on this topic to get more done in a day with ease, right? So we're going to be working the energy. I'll do some meditations and things like that, working the energy side of it, connecting in with our intuition, as well as then focusing on what is the action, what do we need to get done. And we're going to cover all those things in this workshop today. So super excited. If you're new to me, I am Crystal Lynn, Divine Empowerment Coach, and I focus on helping women to heal from the inside out so they can be a magnet to attract love and abundance. So excited to have you here with me. Whether you are with me live or on the replay, definitely comment, follow along with us. Love to hear your insights and input, as well as when you write it down and shout it out, you kind of help to connect with the universe and help to just make things happen, right? To shift it, to let it go, to bring it to you, all that good stuff. So yes. All right. Awesome. So let's see. Where do I want to start in this beautiful, amazing topic of getting stuff done? Well, I think we're stubborn as humans, at least I am, right? So you have to tell me, maybe, are you stubborn as well? I've been honoring my intuition like for a long time now, and I'm so grateful for it. It totally helps me with my clients, and it has led to so many blessings. But there's also times when like I just forget to kind of check back in with my intuition, and I'm just in that motion of like getting stuff done. And it becomes this push energy instead of being aligned, right? So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this workshop, because being all push, right, is not the best way to achieve results. So like, I feel I have this great idea, like for a specific program, for example, like there was a specific program that I was working on that I kept showing up, doing the work, wondering why it wasn't flowing, right? And what I didn't do was really check back in with my intuition again and realize that it wasn't the right fit, or that something had to be tweaked, right? So let me know if you can relate, like in the comments. Have you ever just tried so hard to really make something work and it just like wasn't working and you just kept trying? So that's what I mean by stubborn, right? I'm sure some of us have been there where we really wanted something. It really seemed like it was the right fit, but did we really check in and actually, like check in with our intuition and feel that it was the right fit instead of just deciding up here in our minds, right? And that push energy. um so yeah, and then think about like what other times did something come easy to you, right? There's been plenty of times when I had an idea and I just acted on it right away, and like it just flowed and trickled in and poured in, right? And it's like, wow, I barely even thought about it, or thought about it a little bit, put it into motion, and boom, right? Like tons of stuff flooding in. So yeah, think about that. So why is that, right? It's because it's all about what's aligning with us, our intuition and it being the right fit for us. So, we really need that balance of the masculine and feminine energy. Feminine energy is like intuition, creativity. The masculine energy is the action, is the doing. I was going to say power, but there is a being in your power is partly masculine too. So I guess that was trying to come out of my mouth funny. So we really need that balance of both. And it's really key to like check in first, connect with the intuition first, make sure it's aligned, and then take the action versus just like, oh, I got this idea, I'm going to do it, I'm going to run with it. So yes. So that's definitely, I think where a lot of us like get tripped up with, and sometimes we can think we checked in with our intuition, or like I said, with the one example, right? I did check in with my intuition, yet, as time went by, like it was a misalignment, right? So sometimes we need to check back in as well. Like we think like, oh, I checked in. Yeah, it's great. And right. We still need to kind of, kind of checking on a regular basis, I guess, make sure it's aligned, tweak, pivot, and go from there, basically. So, yeah, this balance of like connecting with the, balancing our intuition. Like, this is why I'm here. I love doing this. And just so excited. Yeah, like I said, to be here with you today. A lot of what I do with my clients is really like that self-love, helping them connect with themselves as well as their intuition. Really huge and powerful in terms of like, getting to your next level, right? Like, I know, like my client Wendy, for example, really healed the past. She opened herself up to love, and as she connected deeper with herself, she also like connected deeper in her relationships, and her relationships were thriving, right? So we're only about a month in to the year, right? Like to 2022. So we have plenty of time to still like make magic happen, get things done. So yeah, beautiful. I've said before, I'm loving the energy of this year much better than the last two. And I think that's another reason why this topic of get more done in a day is really important. Because we can all have a lot of excuses as to like why something didn't work out, based on the past 2 years, or I don't know, your dog got sick, or there was a rain cloud in the sky, or like, we're really good at making up excuses as humans, right? But the past 2 years just give us plenty of reasons already. So this is why we're here. This is why it's a brand new year. We get to start fresh. We get to really focus on what we want. And I'm truly excited for that. So yeah, I already told you guys, we'll tap in, do a meditation, connect that way, and then actually what's the word? And then we will, get into that mental side of it, of what do we want to get done? What do we really want? That's, that type of thing. So who knows what's, well, who knows? Let's start with this. I was going to answer the question, but I'm changing it in the middle. Who knows what they want to get done? Like, what do you want to get done? Is there one thing you would love to get done right now? Let me know in the comments. If there's anything particular, already know before we even get into anything, right? There's something you would just love to get done, whether it's this month, this year, whatever it is, like, what would you love to get done? And of course, the topic for today is like get done in a day. So is there something that, yeah, you could just get done in a day or a week too, right? Thinking about it that way. So let me know in the comments now, whether you're live or on the replay, what would you love to get done? And we're also going to check back in to, like, we'll do accountability. Maybe it's like 24 hours. So maybe, yeah, sometime tomorrow, we'll do like a check-in on accountability to see what you actually got done from this little workshop. So that's amazing too. You guys can all check in the Facebook group, which is Free Powerful Independent Women. So if you're not in that group, I'm sure most of you probably already are, but if you're not, you can definitely join that group, because we'll be doing like an accountability check-in tomorrow to see what you got done, right? So beautiful. All right. So who wants to get stuff done quickly? Who wants to get stuff done quickly and collapse time? If that's you, just put me in the comments. And I would imagine everybody wants to get stuff done quickly, right? For sure. Why not? And I see here, looking for a career. Okay. Beautiful. Looking for a career. Not something miserable. Okay, perfect. So you're getting clearer. So how do we change that? How do we word it? And this is for all of you, regardless of what it is you want, right? How do you word it in a way where you're not speaking to what you don't want, but you're speaking to what you do want, right? So if you wanted a career that wasn't miserable, maybe that looks like earning a great salary, having amazing coworkers, being in a supportive and positive environment. Maybe it's about it being fun. Maybe it's about it being flexible for you. Maybe it's about working from home, so you have flexibility that way, right? So think about what would an amazing career or relationship, right? Or whatever it is for each of you, like, what does that look like? And fill in those details of what would make it amazing, right? Because as we get clear on those details, again, we invite the universe to bring it to us. So beautiful things to play with. Thank you so much for sharing. And definitely, yeah, like allow yourself to go there a little bit, right? Like, what are those few things that would make it amazing? So yes, beautiful. All right. All right. So who knows what's holding them back, right? I talked about, do you know what you want to get done? So who knows what's holding them back from getting it done? Like, do you know what's standing in your way of not getting the career, not getting the ideal relationship, maybe not even dating for some of us, or what else? I don't know, anything. It could be little things too, right? Like not wanting to organize the pantry, like, I don't know, right? Like what's in your way? Like, why are you not getting it done? And like I said, past 2 years, right? We could have plenty of excuses as to why we didn't. Like, oh, I can't take time for me. I have to take care of my family, right? That's one that lots of women use, right? To not go after the hobby, take the class, do whatever that thing is that they've been wanting to do forever and have it. So what is it for you? If you know, let me know in the comments. Sorry, my nose is running a little bit. So let me know in the comments if you have an idea of what's holding you back, what's getting in your way. Like I said, family, time, right? So many reasons. But it's a good thing to even think about, because when you go there, then you can see where your kind of blind spots are, where your blocks are, and where you get to go. So that's a beautiful thing too. It's not about beating yourself up, by the way. If you follow me, you kind of know that, I speak to this, but it's not about beating yourself up. It's not about blaming yourself. It's just about being open and noticing and having the awareness, and then also being kind to yourself and loving yourself, so that you can really get there. Like, it's really hard to get to where you want to go when you're beating yourself up, right? So the more you can stay in positive energy and just notice and have the awareness of, what's not working, what you're not doing, and where you get to go, beautiful, perfect, right? From that space, we can truly move and make things happen and make magic happen. So yeah. So is anybody else feeling like the excitement of 2022, and maybe even of, well, the astrology, Venus is in retrograde right now, and that'll be finishing soon and things like that. But there's definitely like possibility and stuff in the air right now. So anyway, hopefully some of you guys are feeling that too. All right. So yes, beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to pull probably a few cards. I wrote a card here. I have a little notes here. But I'm going to pull a few cards, and then what I'm going to do is walk us through a meditation, so that we can really connect with, our intuition, that highest timeline, our highest self. And then after we go through the meditation, we will then get into, like I said, the mindset stuff in terms of getting stuff done and working through it that way as well. So let me pull a few cards first, and then I'll do the meditation. I have this deck in front of me. I want another deck. All right, so let's see what we need to hear, what guidance we need to hear, what message the card has for us in terms of getting stuff done. The first card we got here is Dharma, guiding children. And it says you are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. And what I'm getting intuitively is also inner child. So some inner child healing, kind of playing with your inner child really is what I'm getting. Like taking that time to play with your inner child, to have fun with your inner child, to connect with your inner child is really going to bring amazing results for all of you. And for some of you, it may literally mean that you do that work with children, but I think for many of us, it's really playing with that inner child, connecting with the inner child, loving the inner child, right? And the next card we have here is Sorceress, and it says, you are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. So this is beautiful too, right? I'm talking about new beginnings and the new year and how we get to focus our intentions and what we want to really cultivate, create it, and bring it into view, bring it to life, right? Connecting with that passion and just truly bringing it to life. All right, I'm going to pull one more card. Oh, it already fell out. So the next card we have here is a Merry Motive. This is from a different deck. And again, what I'm getting for this is really like a beginning type of energy, setting the intention, like knowing what you want, being clear on what you want, and connecting with the magic of it, really connecting with what it, what it is, why you want it, what results it's going to bring you. And in the book here for this Merry Motive card, it says, knowing your own motives, understanding what drives you to meet your goals, the momentum your attention creates, and the wisdom behind your intentions. So, yep, setting a goal, moving towards it, knowing why, connecting to that deeper passion. So all of these, obviously, are gonna, sometimes we know we want it and we feel it, right? And we just know it intuitively, but we don't connect with the deeper reason why, and what it means to us, and how, if it happens, it'll change our life for the better and things like that. So when you connect with your why, really dig down deep to those types of things, right? Like, if you had a career, for example, someone mentioned career earlier, right? So if you had a career where you made amazing money and you loved your coworkers and it was fun, like, how would you be when you came home with your kids? I don't know if the person who said it has kids, but right, how would you be when you came home from a day of work like that? Or maybe you work from home, right? Whatever. Like, you would connect with your kids on a much deeper level. Your energy would be completely different versus going to a job you hate where you don't make a lot of money. You come home, you're like, oh God, right? And there's a little bit of that energy of like, ugh, when you come home, versus loving what you do, getting paid extremely well for it, and then coming home like, all right, kids, what do you want to do today? Like, what do you want for dinner? What do you want to play? Right? Like, totally different energy than like, oh, I need to go lay down for 20 minutes, like, right? Like, totally different energies. So think about that, right? Every little area of our life kind of floods into the next area when we really think about it. And of course, we're always going to have things that we don't want to do, right? We don't love to do like everything, like cleaning, for me anyway, right? I don't love cleaning. Definitely have times when I want to do it and I've gotten better at it, but I always choose quality time, right, over cleaning, for example. So yes. So anyway, but those big things like work and things like that, where you spend most of your time, right, it's definitely going to drain your energy. All right, so how's everybody feeling? Did you get some little nuggets so far? Let me know in the comments, write nugget, or let me know exactly what landed for you. I would love to know. If you want to unmute yourself and share anything, feel free to do so. And if not, I can just get started on the meditation. And so yeah, all right, we'll just do that. Let's close our eyes. Finding joy in cleaning. Yes, that's a goal. Put the music on, right? I know that's one thing probably everybody already does, right? Put the music on while you're cleaning sometimes. I'm sweating, isn't that funny? But put the music on while you're cleaning so that, music makes lots of things better, but yeah, there's ways to, like, yes, amp up the energy. And even the mending, I forget to put music on. I know we forget to do these simple things sometimes. It's so interesting, isn't it? When it will make our lives so much more fun and easier, right? That's what we're aligning with today. Fun and ease, right? All right, so close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. I'm going to ask our guides, our spiritual support team to come forward to allow our highest self to come through, to allow amazing insights to come through that are for the greatest good, just the greatest good, right? Um, so I want you to picture yourself in a meadow full of flowers. Picture yourself just sitting in this meadow, soaking up the beautiful weather. The sun is shining on you, but there's a light breeze. The clouds are fluffy and beautiful in the sky. And everything is going amazing. You just feel so lit up by life, but also you're completely present in the moment and just noticing all the flowers. You can really see the brightness and the color of them. The pink of the flower looks brighter than you've ever noticed it. Like all the details are crisp and vibrant. It's like you just put contacts in for the first time, and all of a sudden everything is clear. And you're just soaking it up. You're like relishing the frequencies of these colors, of the joy, um, just truly vibrating at a very high level and energy. You realize as you're sitting here, all that has gone well, all that has gone well, all that has worked out for you, all that has gone right. You so appreciate all the little things, all the connections, all the small blessings and miracles that you've had in your life. And even the struggles, you can realize now that time has passed, how those struggles were a blessing, how the things that occurred, which seemed like the worst thing in the world at the time, and rightfully so, may have not been a pleasant experience. However, you can see how that situation actually led to you becoming more spiritual, stronger, wiser, loving yourself deeper, and so many other benefits. You can see the specific benefits for you and how that played out. So just soak that in for a minute. Think about how you have become stronger due to your struggles right now. Let yourself notice and appreciate the amazing person that you are now today, based on everything, good and bad, that has happened in your life. Notice the changes that have happened, even over the last year, maybe the last 2 years. How has the inner you really grown and changed? What internal shifts have there been for you? And how has those internal shifts reflected outward into your life? Um, because of those internal shifts, what tangible things have opened up and happened in your life? Um, Maybe you made amazing new friends, or got a better job, or manifested a car. I don't know, right? And the little shifts are important too, not just the big things. So, what opened up for you? And what would you say your greatest lesson was in the past year or two? What's the greatest lesson? What did you learn, walk away with, change, integrate in your life? What do you now know that you did not know 2 years ago or a year ago? And how has this lesson benefited you? Think of all the areas in your life that this has actually helped with, made a difference with, even those subtle changes. I want you to invite God or your angels, your spirit guides to give you a message now and tell you how proud of you that they are. Just be still and notice what pops up for you. What message do they want to give you about your growth and the beauty of who you are? Don't overthink it. Whatever thought comes through is what you're meant to hear. Um, yeah, how does God see you, or the universe, source, whatever you choose to call it? How do they see you at your highest? What do they think is amazing about you? And I can see all the angels surrounding us right now, actually, in a big circle, just pouring their love into all of us. Um, just holding us at our highest. Seeing our potential more than we truly see it for ourselves. And what's next for you? What do you want to create? If you could achieve one goal next, what would that be? What's that one goal that you would love to just bring to life next? That would just be amazing, not based on logic, but based on what you truly desire and what you truly want and what your soul just is longing for and would help you to feel fulfilled. What is that one goal? I want you to picture yourself now. I'm seeing soccer in my mind, like a soccer player who has just kicked the ball into the net and scored and completed the goal. And now let's jump forward. Let's jump forward 10 years. If we were to align with the most amazing life in this lifetime, and you could have everything that you desire, not based on logic, but based on the most amazing dream life. What does that look like? I want you to picture yourself in this moment. What's your career like? What are your relationships like? How do you feel about yourself? What do you see when you look in the mirror? What are you wearing? How are you projecting yourself? How are you feeling? Take a few moments and explore. If you were to look at yourself in the mirror 10 years from now, what do you see? Where are you? What are you wearing? What's the room look like behind you? And what do you say to yourself while you're looking in the mirror? You're giving yourself a little pep talk 10 years from now. What do you say? What's the pep talk that you give yourself? And if this future self 10 years from now was to write you a letter to yourself today, what would she say to you? What message does she want to give to you? Just close your eyes and let the thoughts or message come through. And know that for some of you, the messages may come through later on. You might be doing something else and go, oh, and you might have a divine download, right? So let it all unfold exactly as it should. And the last thing I want you guys to connect with before you open your eyes is, what does it feel like if you can align with joy and fun? And what would it be like if fun was implemented in your daily life? Can you see yourself? What type of fun things are you doing? And how can you align with ease? How can you welcome in abundance with ease and grace? So take a few moments, ask if your angels or your higher self or your future self has any last minute messages for you. And when you feel complete, you guys can open your eyes. And let me know what landed for you, how you enjoyed that in the comments. Anybody get any amazing insights or thoughts come in? I would love to know and hear. Or maybe you've seen something really cool, right? Like a, I don't know, gorgeous room behind you, or yourself on the beach, or whatever, or your angels. We all get our information differently too. Um, some of us just feel it, some of us see, you know what I mean? So don't judge, don't worry about how the information comes in. Let me know in the comments if you're complete, right, done, if you'd opened your eyes and you're back. Okay, I'm going to move on. Does anybody want to share anything about the meditation? All right. Well, hopefully you guys got at least a nugget, if not more, right? From that. Okay, beautiful. All right. So let's get into how are we going to get more done in a day, right? Oh, I just muted myself. Yeah. So how are we going to get more done in a day? How are we practically like actually going to get stuff done? And what I want to ask is like, how many things have you been avoiding? Like how many little things are you just like putting off and saying you'll wait for later, procrastinating on because other things are important, right? Like I mentioned cleaning earlier, right? Like I always work. I love what I do. Like I have no problem showing up, working, spending time with the kids, doing fun things with the kids, right? So the cleaning is the thing that I'll procrastinate on, that I'll put off, right? So what is it for you, right? What are those things that could be even like, oh, doing taxes, filing your taxes, calling a friend that you've been wanting to call, like making plans with a friend, what are all those things that you're really putting off and procrastinating on? And it could even be things like starting your business, right? It's something you really want to do, but you just feel like, oh, I can't right now. I have to take care of my family, or I don't know what I'm doing. I need to learn more, right? Could be another limiting belief that you're telling yourself in terms of why you're not doing it, what you're procrastinating on. Like you're just thinking about it, but you're not actually taking the action, not actually doing the things, right? So I want to hear from you, whether you're live or on the replay. What are those things? Like, let's shout it out right now. What are those things that you've been procrastinating on? So here in the comments, it says pulling out dusty materials of blank canvases, crystal beads, coloring books, colored pencils, and empty notebooks. Beautiful. Maybe organizing that stuff, or maybe it's playing with it again, using them again. Because you said pulling out, so I'm not sure which. I don't know if it's just using them and playing with that energy, or it's organizing it in a better way. Maybe both, right? It's organized. You just need to play. Yeah, you need to use it. We get to play. I love that, right? We totally get to play. We get to connect. We get to create. Yeah, I love painting every once in a, I try to paint every 2 weeks or something, but it's true. Like, yeah, I just wrote in the comments, not sure why I want to allow myself to. It's so true. Like sometimes I literally need to be like, okay, Crystal, like you need to paint. Like you haven't painted in a while. Let's go. Like I kind of need to like, I don't know, like force myself a little bit, right? Like it can be so easy to let time go by and think like, oh, I don't need to do that. Like I have to work and I have to do this, right? Like we make up excuses. But I know that my soul just wants to like be creative and connect, and it's a little meditative to like paint too, right? Like kind of get lost in the process. So like I know my soul kind of needs that. So if too much time goes by, it's like, okay, Crystal, let's go. You need to make a painting. You need to sit down and get to work, right? Thank goodness I've gotten to that habit. I'm sure there's plenty that I could also step into that I'm not utilizing, right? Yes, in the comments it says I have so much jewelry I could be making. Yes, even though I know it's hard to do. It is. It's so hard to get started sometimes, especially like if we've let it go for a while. So that's the interesting thing too with this topic of what we've been putting off. Often the longer we let it go, think about this. Think about if this is true for you right now. The longer we let it go, like the longer we don't do something that we want to do, it's hard to actually do it. The longer time that goes by, it's actually harder to like do it, even though the thing itself may not be hard to do. It's like, oh, what? You're so used to not doing it that it like becomes acceptable. So you're just like, I don't need, it's not important. And right. Oh my God, the mind's such a tricky thing. It loves to it loves to tell us a lot of stuff that's not true and not for our highest good. That's for sure. So we get to be committed to ourselves, our vision, to fill in all those areas and balance our life, right? So that we can truly show up, because I will tell you that when you have fun, like I used the example earlier, right? If you have fun at work, you're more pleasant with your kids. But even if work isn't like the most fun thing, and you just find a way to connect with fun on a daily basis, right? It so changes your energy, shifts things, and allows more to flow to you, right? So actually having fun, playing, inner child. I mean, God, we got inner child in the cards, right? Like that sense of play is going to be really important to actually tune in and manifest what we want. All right. So, so grab pen and paper. If you don't have pen and paper, go grab pen and paper. I should have said that earlier, but I'm sure all of you have it close enough. So I'll wait like a second or two for you guys to grab pen and paper. Yeah. So let me know in the comments how many of you can relate to what we were just talking about while we're waiting for everyone to get pen and paper, whether you're live or on the replay. How many of you would love to, yeah, like how many of you have been putting stuff off, right? Like there's so many things you would love to do, but you're just not doing. Or sometimes you start and stop things too, right? Like, I don't know, healthy eating's coming to mind for me. I definitely have started and stopped that many times in my life, right? Healthy eating, I eat healthy for a while, then I stop for a while, right? Yeah. So what is it that you would love to, incorporate, be consistent with, and all those kind of things? All right, so what we're going to do now is, here's my question for you. You ready? Are you ready for this powerful question? I'm going to read the comment first. It says, getting rid of things you've sorted, accumulated over the years, becoming a minimalist. Yes, beautiful. We definitely can accumulate a lot of stuff, and clutter can kind of fog up our mind and our energy too, right? So I love that. I don't have a desire to become a minimalist, if I can talk. I have no desire to do that, but I love the idea. And if that feels right and aligned for you, then absolutely go for it. And I do think that I could certainly get rid of some stuff at the same time, right? So absolutely, totally true. Yes, I love it. Okay, so here's the powerful question. And it is, if you made a long list of everything that you have been procrastinating on, and were told that you would be given $1 million if you completed it all by the end of the day, could you do it? That's the question. That's a loaded question, isn't it? So if you made a long list of everything that you've been procrastinating on right now, maybe it's been a year, but it has to be things you could do now, right? Like, if it's something you wish you did 10 years ago, that doesn't really count. It has to be things you could actually put into action now, right? So if you made a long list of all the things you've been procrastinating on, and were told that you'd be given $1 million if you completed it all by the end of the day, could you do it? That puts a different energy on getting shit done that we don't like to do, doesn't it? Right? We're going to pay you $1 million. Someone's going to pay you $1 million to do all the stuff that you don't want to do. I mean, heck, yeah, like I love doing it, right? Like I'll clean out the garage, I'll swipe the gutters, I'll whatever. You're going to give me $1 million for this? What? Like, hell yeah, right? So again, shift your energy, right? There's a quote by Thomas Edison that says, if you did everything you were capable of doing, you would astonish yourself. Because again, the excuses, the mindset chatter, the limiting beliefs, it all gets in our way and stops us from what we can truly do, right? None of us are operating at our full potential. I mean, it's just, we're humans, right? But so what I want you to do right now is just brain dump. That's why we got the pen and paper. We're just going to brain dump, and we're going to take a few minutes, and we're going to make a list of all the things that we have been procrastinating on. Okay. So that's what I want you to do right now. Just make a list of all those things you've been procrastinating on. Again, things that you could do right now, things you put off, things you don't feel like doing, things you want to do, but you don't think you have time for it, don't have the money for it, or feel that you just can't do it, even if you really want to do it, right? I mentioned that already, but make a long list of all those things and do me a favor and comment done when you feel like you've actually dumped. I'm going to pause for at least a few minutes. But when you feel like your list is complete, write complete. And again, it's all the things. It's like cleaning out the car, cleaning out the trunk of the car, organizing the closet, filing the taxes, calling the friend, taking that class you said you were going to class, taking those kickboxing lessons, planning that vacation, starting the business. I don't know. You get the point, right? I'm giving you lots of examples. Maybe it's making that phone call and having that like conversation that person you haven't connected with, a person you got in a fight with years ago, and you've been wanting to like patch that up and clear the air, right? It could be like making that making that phone call, So what are all the things that you want to do, either hate doing, like whatever, like a whole big long list of what you're procrastinating on. So I'm going to be quiet and let me know when you're done this list. Type done in the comments so I know. And if you're watching the recording, you still get to go grab pen and paper and make this long list with us in real time here as well, even though you're on the recording. All righty. All right, if you're live with me on Zoom, type done in the comments. If you're done your list, let me know. List of 18, amazing. Yes, I got to 20 so far. um, a lot of mine was cleaning and organizing stuff, though there's other things in there. It's funny. I get in little, even though I don't like cleaning, I do get in little moods where sometimes I'm like, oh, this is on my nerves. And then I've reorganized like that one thing, right? So yeah. All right, beautiful. I see a few of you are done. I'll wait another moment and let the rest of you finish. Comment done when you're done. And if you are done, let me know what was something on the list that surprised you, or what's one thing on the list that you're like, oh yeah, I got to get this done. Let me know in the comments, whether you're live or on the replay. All right, so for the purposes of this little challenge here, and by the way, this whole idea of if you got paid $1 million, the question, it's from a book called The $1 Million Day. So that's what this whole, if you've been procrastinating and made the list and give $1 million, but could you do it? That's from a book called The $1 Million Day. So that's where this idea is coming from. So for the purposes of this, and obviously in the $1 Million Day and the book itself, the goal is like to complete that whole list in 24 hours. So it could technically be 2 days, right? If it's a 24-hour period or whatever. But the goal is like to get all that done in a 24-hour period. It's also good to just maybe pick a day in advance if you were actually going to do the $1 Million Day, like, oh, this Saturday coming up, I'm going to get all that done right in a day. So that's a great way to do it too, is like plan ahead, pick a day, get all the stuff done that is on your list. But for purposes of this challenge here, I'm going to invite you to pick 3 items, because I don't know work schedules. Maybe some of you are working, you don't have a full day to actually get that whole list that you wrote down done, right? Or what else you have planned, right? So I'm going to invite you to pick 3 things off of that list, and you could get done by tomorrow, 24 hours. So by tomorrow around 1 p.m. EST time, right? Basically this time tomorrow. So to pick 3 things, what are 3 things from that list that you could get done by tomorrow? So let me know in the comments. And it seems like, oh, this isn't a big deal and who cares, I can do it later, it's not important. Like I know, like the organizing for me, definitely, right, not important, I blow it off. And it's interesting because this is a great example, right, of how like our house can impact our mind and how we feel and how we show up, versus like, if everything was organized in my whole entire house everywhere, like even in the closets and this and that, right, if everything was in its own little space, then there's this freedom and this peace. It's peace, right? You feel peace, like there's nothing cluttering up your mind, your space, your energy, because your home environment is clean, right? I mean, I guess you could technically go into feng shui and all that kind of stuff, which I know little about. I haven't studied that or anything, right? But the point is, like, we're responsible for ourselves, our mind, our energy, our environment, like all of it impacts everything. So while it seems like not a big deal or something that's not that important or something that we can put off till later, it literally is affecting us. It's like sucking our energy. It's draining us. And even thinking about like little things like, somebody used an example once of like her seatbelt in her car was broke, right? And she would like forget about it all the time. And then like every time she got in the car, it's like, oh man, this seatbelt's broke. Like, oh, I hate this car. I got to get this fixed. Right. And it's like those little things that like drain our energy. And then like we're out of the car, we totally forget about it. Like we can't remember to get it fixed. We can't remember to do it because we just forget. But then every time we get back in the car, it like drains our energy immediately because we're like, oh, why do I have this stinky seatbelt? That doesn't work, or you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, that's an example that's coming to mind for me, but let me know if this is resonating with you and making sense. So it's all these little things that we think don't matter, but actually they're draining our energy like little by little over time. And like I said, just how putting it off for a long time and waiting to do something makes it seem like so hard to do once we get started. It's the same thing by keeping this little tiny thing going on and on and on forever, that every time we get in the car, we feel like, oh, like for me, I really need to go get the inside of my car like detailed. And I haven't done that in a long time. And, I guess COVID was my excuse, or I don't know what my excuse was, right? but how much better will it feel for me to get in the car after like it's cleaned and perfect and in pristine condition, right? So it's all those little things where, of course, it doesn't always have to be like detailed, right? But at least being free of the clutter, at least being right. And even just we could detail it ourselves too. It's not like you always have to take it, right? But how would you feel if you get in the car and it's shiny and it's not dusty and it's like there's nothing around, right? Like all those little things. And like I said, for you, it might be other things. Maybe it's delaying on your taxes, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But those things are like sucking our energy when we wake up every morning. And maybe it's not the first thing we think about, but at some point during the day, we think, oh, got to do that. Oh, don't feel like doing that. Oh, right. And it like zaps our energy and drains us. Whereas if we just like got it done, focused on it, took care of some of the things we've been procrastinating on, it frees up our energy. It frees up the space to not have those little energy drainers. So let me know what's landing for you so far out of everything I've said about this whole getting stuff done concept. And it does get to be easy. That's the thing. Like we think like, oh, I can't do that, it's going to take forever, when it's like not true. Like even if it's getting your taxes done, right? You can literally just make the phone call. Like you can make the phone call or schedule the appointment or go online and look something up. Like you can get started even if you can't actually finish it today, right? Sometimes just the getting started is enough. Like some things are one step at a time, I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? You can't like complete it in a day, but you can get started on it, which is fine, which is perfect too. But it's just about being in the energy of actually taking the steps, like showing up instead of ignoring it. And a good habit too, like I know I've utilized this with like doing things. Sometimes if it's like something quick, instead of me going, oh, I'll have to do that later. Like if it's, I don't know, sending a text or an email or writing myself a reminder or like something that I can do quick, instead of saying, oh yeah, I'll do that later. I literally got into the habit of just doing it right then and there with certain things because I'm going to forget, right? And then it's going to keep sucking up my energy every time I think, oh, I got to do that. I got to do that. I got to do that. I keep reminding myself to do that. And then I keep forgetting, right? Instead, I just stop right then and there, write it down, put it in my phone, and then it's done. And then I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to do it later. I don't have, right? It's like completely done. And like, oh my God, that's so freeing. That's one less thing on my mind. And I'm very good at remembering, right? Like I have a really good memory. So I'm really good at remembering. So it was like just a habit for me, like for years, to just be like, oh yeah, I'll remember that later, or I'll do it later type of thing. When literally it's so much better to just like do it right now in the moment, especially if it's a quick thing, so that then you don't have to think about it, you don't have to worry about it, right? So what are your 3 things that you're going to do by tomorrow? And then we're all going to check in the Facebook group tomorrow for accountability and support, to let us all know that we got the 3 things done. And if you, like I said, if you wanted, then go ahead and do a full $1 million day. Perfect. Amazing. You could go ahead and do that later as well. Like plan a day and you could do a full $1 million day. And then like, even with the trunk of the car and things like that, like sometimes Like we say, we think it's going to be too long, it's going to be too much. But what if we said, oh, I'm going to clean the car for 30 minutes, right? And you got started on it. Depending on how long your list is, how much you got to get done, right? Like even starting on it is going to get you into a space where you could, you know, feel better when you get into the car, or when you go into the trunk of the car. Maybe you're just cleaning out the trunk of the car, whatever it is. Like, you know, it really gives you that peace and that comfort. And especially when we let those things, I mean, it's all the things. It's not just one, like, I don't think one thing's more important than the other when it comes to this $1 million day idea. But especially like for me as a coach, right? Like when we put off those things that really mean the most to us, and we really want to do them, but we're just like waiting to feel good enough, or waiting for permission, or waiting for when our family doesn't need us, or waiting to have the time, or waiting to have the money. Like all that is BS. Like that is nonsense. And there's no reason for you to wait, for you to get started on what you're feeling called to do. Like you do not need to give yourself permission. You just need to take the first step and like do something, like get started towards it and stop putting it off. Because if you have that idea, then you are meant to do that. 100%, you are meant to do that. And there's no excuse that's actually legitimate, regardless of the time, the money, the this, the that, right? There's no excuse. Like maybe you can't overnight. First of all, nobody gets anywhere overnight, right? Like, let me give it to you real. Nobody gets anywhere overnight. Like it takes time, it takes consistency, right? Like building a business or even a relationship, you know, like all of it takes, you know, it takes effort. You're showing up, you're committing to each other. So it's not really about quick results. Even though I am saying, yes, let's align to your highest timeline. Let's get it done with ease and grace. There is a sense of, yes, we can get it done quick, instead of, you know, not organizing the car for a month. Like, let's take 30 minutes, get it done. Right. Absolutely. And then what's going to open up when you do that? So yes, we can get it done quick that way. But if you want to build something huge and momentous, like a business or the best relationship of your life, those type of things are going to take consistent, you know, input and effort from you to really build it up to be a legacy, an amazing, impactful relationship, business, right? Whatever. And it's not about the quick fix. But when we get rid of those other things that are nagging and hanging, then our energy can go to where we truly want it to go, right? You know, and actually the person who wrote this book, grew up on a farm. So that's kind of probably how the idea originated, because he woke up in the morning and it was like, oh, go mow the lawn, go feed the animals before you could like go hang out with your friends, right? Like he had to do those other things first before he could do the things he really wanted to do. And most of us, you know, I don't think grew up on a farm. I certainly didn't. So, you know, don't have that mentality of like, wake up early, you know, get stuff done, and then you can, right? So it's definitely a different and interesting perspective. And then, you know, he found it very boring too. Like he's a kid who wants to do chores, who wants to take care of the farm, right? Like nobody does. They just want to go hang with their friends or do what is fun. So eventually at some point he kind of made it a game for himself, pretending that he was getting paid $1 million to do the task. So when he actually pretended that he was getting paid $1 million to do the task, he would show up differently to do the task. He would like make sure it was perfect and pristine. Like he was pretending that they were shooting a video. Like none of this was right. He's just pretending, just to make it more enjoyable, just to make it more pleasant. He was pretending that they were shooting a video of him cleaning the farmhouse floor, or, you know, right? And then he's like making it perfect and wants to do a really good job because he's going to pay $1 million for it, and it's going to be on video, right? And they want to show the quality and the work ethic that went into it, versus like, right? Normally we show up like, oh, I got to do this thing and it's just whatever, and I'll just hurry up and get it and shove it in the drawer and like, whatever, who cares, right? It makes us think about things really differently. So yes. All right. So do you have your 3 things? Did you pick out your 3 things that you're going to do by tomorrow? Type yes in the comments if you have picked out your 3 things. Again, so much of it is mindset. Like we get in our own way all the time. It's not other people. I mean, sure, sometimes other people want to hold us back or put us down in life for sure. But the thing is, the reason that stuff bothers us is because on some level we sort of believe it. And maybe it's subconscious and maybe it's whatever, but right, it's like we still are getting in our own way in our mindset, and it's human nature, but we have the ability to shift past this. So all right, I see Melissa has her 3 things. Does everybody else have the 3 things that they're going to work on by tomorrow from your long list? And if not, I encourage you to do that right away. I'll make a post in the Free Powerful Independent Women Facebook group for you guys to write what your 3 things are and then check in tomorrow and let us know that you got them done on that post, right? And if you need support, post in that group as well. Let us know what you're working on, what you need support with. Sometimes, we think it's easy and then we start to do it. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this, right? So definitely comment, let us know. If you know right now what you need, how you need support, put it in the comments, let me know. But yes, I would love to support you, as well as others in the group may have interesting input, tips, and advice for you as well, right? Okay, so yes, definitely thinking about those energy drainers is important, freeing up your mind. And imagine, right, like doing the $1 million day and like, wow, how would you feel like a weight was lifted or a load was off in 24 hours as you got through that whole list? Honestly, I bet you you're going to feel, not I bet you, I know you're going to feel good after you do even 3 things that you've been procrastinating on, right? Like gives you a quick win, a quick shift, allows you to feel more peace. But like getting that whole list done, right? Somebody said they had a list of 18. So imagine getting all 18 things done. How the hell are you going to feel after the next day? You're going to feel like so light and so free, like a little bouncing ball that can go get anything done at that point, right? Like, so that's the point of doing this, because it's going to bring you more peace, more fulfillment, more happiness, more motivation. Like you're going to be ready to show up and get stuff done. So I definitely want to hear what happens for all you guys after you do the 3 items. And, I just, it's just such a great focus and idea. And so anyway, let me know, did you guys enjoy this so far? Let me know in the comments. And then also, like, if you would love to do a full $1 million day and would love support, and would like to align with your highest self and enhance your connection with your intuition, let me know. And like, what would you love to manifest in just 8 weeks? If you could pick one thing that you wanted to manifest in 8 weeks, right? Because there's certain things we could do in a day, certain things take longer, right? So if there was something you would want to manifest in 8 weeks, what would that be? I would love to share a little bit about my new group coaching program that I have, which is Flow and Go. So it's going to be very much focused on intuition as well as action, because that's where the magic happens, right? I've been talking about it a little bit during here, but really it's going to be focused on, you will pick a goal, but then each call will be focused on really connecting with our intuition. I'll be doing not only meditations, but readings, healings, activations, lots more spiritual work and energy work during the call than I have done in the past. So that's why I'm really excited about it, to really connect with that, do the energy healings, to really connect with the intuition, to help, because here's the thing, the answer, like, what you want, but sometimes you just like have it hidden and you're just not clear on it. So this is really going to help you to connect with your own intuition, which is beautiful. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the comments, but like I said, I'm so excited about it. And it's really connecting with the intuition first and then taking the action from that space, instead of like pushing the rock uphill, forcing the energy, just being in go mode. We're really going to focus on aligning and then taking the action so that you connect with what you really want. And don't worry if you don't know what you want. to what you want your goal to be, there's actually a bonus one-on-one coaching call so that I can help you get clear on what it is you want to really focus on for yourself within that 8 weeks. So that's perfect. And yeah, so, if this is of interest to you, I would, love to have you join me. I'll put the link in the comments. I mean, you basically have two options from this point. You could try to figure it out all on your own and make slow progress over time, or you can join me and get quicker results and shift and manifest what you want. It's totally a game changer, honestly. And what we are going to practice here, you're going to be able to use for the rest of your life. Like you tuning in with your intuition and learning how to do that every day or before making decisions is going to be powerful, and it's literally going to change your life. So I'm so excited to be doing this. I did a similar group where we did the 8-week goal, but it was more just law of attraction, where this is more focusing on your energy and then the actions that you could really make things happen. And we'll have different topics as well, talk about habits and things like that, as well as self-love, right? Different topics to really help you over the 8-week course, over the time as well. And it's a small group, so it'll feel like one-on-one, and you'll have time to get your questions answered. And what else? I don't know. I think I said most of it. I gave you the main topics and ingredients. My client, let me tell you a little bit about some of my clients. They all kind of, when they start with me, they feel a little, what's the word? They're definitely a little lost, feel hopeless, not good enough, have past trauma or abuse to heal from. And when they end up leaving, they feel confident, powerful, full of hope, joy, happiness. Confident is a word that I hear over and over again. They feel confident. So Michelle, one of my clients, Michelle, said that I helped her navigate through the transition, the pain, the sadness, and self-doubt that our routine calls forced her to take a deeper look at her thoughts, her beliefs, her feelings, and the homework she was given helped her to acknowledge her strengths, her motivation, and her value. Her mindset changed, and she wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. She was finding happiness within herself, and her kids noticed she was becoming a happier mother and a happier person. And then one of my clients, Lori, said that her self-worth and strengths have improved. Her self-esteem improved, and she learned how to be her own best friend, and also healed a medical issue that she had her whole life just by actually releasing that past abuse and trauma. So amazing things are happening for my clients. So if you're interested, you can go to crystalynperez.com/go. And I also want to announce that if you sign up within the next 4 days only, I'm including a special bonus that you also get the Manifest with the Moon workshop series for 2022. So only in the next 4 days will you get that. So I would love to have you join me. Absolutely excited about this. And either way, I mean, definitely join. This is going to be a game changer. This is going to help you. But I absolutely want to hear about your 3 items as well. So make sure you're commenting in the group, telling me what your 3 items are and how it feels when you got them done and completed them. Awesome. So excited to be here with you today. Hope you guys enjoyed the meditation and got some nuggets with that as well. I would invite you to also just free write right now too, right? Like expand on that meditation too. And what would it be like for you to really truly connect with your highest self, right? That highest timeline, your future self. And for some people writing works better, some people meditation works better. So definitely explore and play in that energy in that space and really write about, what does my most perfect and amazing life look like in 10 years? And get to work on those 3 action items. I'm sure some of them could be done quickly, especially if you've made a long list, so that you could get 3 or more done within 24 hours. And yeah, I can't wait to hear from you guys in the group. Let me know if you have any questions for me at all, and I will see you all soon. Have a great day, everyone.